Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a story that's far more emotional than it looks on the surface, one that shows how Michael and Brandon Keelan's journey into parenthood is unfolding in a way that feels real, layered, and deeply personal. What might seem like a simple family update actually reveals something much bigger happening behind the scenes. In this video, we're looking at two powerful moments that are shaping their lives right now. On one side, there's a quiet but deeply meaningful first birthday celebration for their baby. On the other, there's a long-awaited dream finally coming true for their 4-year-old, a moment that carries more emotional weight than you might expect. Let's break down how these two completely different experiences come together to tell one story about love, belonging, and what it truly means to build a family. Their latest post centers around their baby's first birthday, and it is immediately clear that this was not just another celebration. Michael captured the emotion perfectly when she wrote, "My heart's so full it brings tears. God has been so good." That single line says more than any long explanation ever could. It reflects gratitude, relief, and a deep sense of emotional fulfillment that has clearly been building over time. The setting itself was simple and intimate, with soft decorations and a calm, family-centered atmosphere. Instead of focusing on extravagance, the moment leaned into meaning, making it feel authentic and deeply personal. What stands out even more is the presence of close family members who chose to be part of the celebration. Familiar faces like Gil Bates and Tori Bates appeared, adding another layer to the story. Their presence was not just casual, it felt intentional and supportive. In the context of foster parenting, that kind of inclusion carries real weight. It sends a quiet but powerful message that this child is not only welcomed by Michael and Brandon, but also embraced by the wider family. That level of acceptance speaks volumes without needing to be directly stated. But that is only one side of what they shared. Around the same time, they also opened up about another experience that added a completely different tone to their story. In a video update, Brandon began with, "Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We are here again after a lot of events," setting a casual and conversational tone right away. It did not feel scripted or overly polished. Instead, it felt like an invitation into their real life, where small moments and bigger milestones exist side by side. From there, the focus shifted naturally to their 4-year-old and a simple wish that had quietly grown into something much more meaningful. That wish started with something as small as a music device that played Bible songs and stories. One song in particular stuck with their child, a song about Noah's Ark, which he adorably referred to as the Archie Airy. Brandon shared, "Our little 4-year-old just loved hearing that song," highlighting how deeply it resonated with him. What might seem like a passing interest turned into a consistent request, especially during their family trips. Every time they drove past the Ark Encounter area, the same question came up again and again. It became clear that this was not just a phase, but something the child genuinely cared about. Life, of course, got busy, and the plan to visit kept getting pushed aside. Yet that delay only added more weight to the moment when things finally lined up. During a trip to Michigan around Easter, they drove through a heavy storm, complete with rain, thunder, and fading daylight. Then came a moment that stood out. As the rain began to ease, Michael found herself searching the sky and said, "This is the perfect condition for a rainbow." What followed was exactly that, a rainbow slowly appearing and growing more vivid as they drove. For them, it was more than just a beautiful sight. It connected back to the story of Noah's Ark and carried a quiet spiritual meaning that felt hard to ignore. That same trip also included Easter celebrations with family, adding even more emotional depth to their story. Michael reflected on how experiencing those moments with children changes everything, saying, "You just look at everything so different with little people." Watching a child process the story of Jesus brought a fresh perspective that felt both raw and powerful. Simple traditions like coloring eggs and participating in an egg hunt became something much more meaningful. These were not just activities, they were building blocks of connection and belonging. The children were not just present, they were actively being included and cherished. The The turning point came when Lawson and Tiffany reached out with a spontaneous plan to visit the Ark Encounter together. What had once been a long-standing idea suddenly became reality. The trip itself was filled with small, joyful stops along the way, including a visit to Buc-ee's, which added an extra layer of excitement for the kids. By the time they arrived at the Ark, the anticipation had already built into something special. And once inside, the experience took on a life of its own, especially through the eyes of their 4-year-old. One of the most telling moments came when the child reacted to the dark interior of the Ark exhibit. Believing that it had suddenly turned into nighttime, he worried that he had missed his chance to play on the playground outside. It was a small misunderstanding, but it perfectly captured how real the experience felt to him. For Michael and Brandon, that perspective transformed the visit. It was no longer just about seeing a well-known attraction. It became about witnessing how their child interacted with the world in a completely genuine way. As the day unfolded, they explored not only the Ark itself, but also the family-friendly additions like the playground and petting zoo. Michael even noted how different the experience felt compared to her previous visit without children. This time, it was less about reading every detail and more about sharing moments, keeping up with the kids, and seeing their excitement firsthand. Brandon summed it up best when he said, "I was really glad we were finally able to fulfill a promise to our 4-year-old." That line brought everything full circle. When you step back and look at both moments together, the bigger picture becomes clear. The baby's first birthday represents stability, love, and a sense of arrival. The Ark trip represents attention, intention, and the fulfillment of a child's wish. These are two very different expressions of parenting, yet they work together seamlessly. One is about celebrating presence, while the other is about creating memories. Both are essential, and both are handled with care. In the end, what Michael and Brandon are sharing goes far beyond simple updates. They are offering a glimpse into what it looks like to truly build a family through foster care. Every detail, from quiet celebrations to spontaneous road trips, reflects a commitment that feels real and grounded. Their story shows that family is not defined by how it starts, but by the love and effort that sustain it. And through every moment they share, it becomes clear that these children are not just part of their lives. They are at the very center of it. And that's a wrap on this latest look at Michael and Brandon's journey, a story that goes far beyond simple updates and really shows what it means to build a family through foster care. From quiet, emotional milestones to meaningful moments that fulfill a child's wish, everything they've shared reflects a kind of love that feels intentional, steady, and real. So what do you think about the way these two moments came together? The first birthday celebration and the long-awaited dream finally coming true. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, because this story really highlights how different experiences can still connect into something much bigger. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more stories just like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.